Greetings. I got one of the chickens out of the coop. Listen to it run. That sounds so pretty, right? The music. Listen to the music. That's music. A symphony. That would be when let's say that's a symphony of detonation. Actually, it's not detonation, because we're not detonating. So it's just a... I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll get back to that. Anyways, I went down to the scrap yard today because I needed some 3/8 plate, and they actually had some. So I got it at scrap prices. And while I was there, I saw these. And I said, wait a minute, my buddy Stevie needs one for his shop that I'm constantly working on the bed and breakfast at. So I called him up and I asked him, I said, hey, do you still need that? He's like, oh, no, I just bought it. How much? I said, oh, they're $7. $7? That's cheap. Get me one. So I bought all three, and I got them for $15. Got a bargain, $5 a piece for all three. So I'm gonna toss him one, keep the other two, because I'm gonna need something like that to do the service on the beast. And so boom, that'll work in fine to my mission and my plan. Also, while I was there, I scored a mailbox for $5. So I'm gonna clean that up, throw a little paint on it, put a base, and I got a post in my scrounge that I'm gonna use, and chalk it up to something that I accomplished. Unfortunately, I went back this afternoon because they had some heavy-duty steel horses made out of an I-beam. They probably weigh about 200, maybe 300 pounds a piece. And I'm thinking, that is something I could use. And then I started thinking, what else could I use them for? I could probably use them for table legs and put a steel plate on top and use it as a welding table. So Monday morning at 8 o'clock, I will be there at the scrap place before they open, so I can score these horses. They also had a trailer, like a little tug type trailer, but the totes that I have are 39 inches by 39 inches, and the axle space between the tires on these trailers are only 34 inches. So I don't think that's going to work for me. But let's see what else is going on today. I think that's it. So let me get working on the mailbox here. Actually, I gotta go shut off the Pontiac because the fumes are starting to blow into the garage. Manufactured by Steel City Corp, Youngstown, Ohio. I wonder how old that is. I don't think we make any more mailboxes in this country. Alright, so I'm going to have to take that off and tighten it up. And missing a bolt or a screw here. Piece of cake. Right? Now I gotta take that decal off there. But still, that didn't get off the glue. I'm gonna have to hit it with probably a brake cleaner. That'll probably pull that glue right off. And then I'll have to lay that on a sandbag and beam that out a little bit. But for $5, I'm extremely happy. Well, I had enough of getting pelted in the face with the wire bristles off this brush. The brush is shot. So, I got a new one. Maximum speed is 3750 on the RPM. And my motor is 1725. So it's almost half the speed, and the bristles should not come out. I mean, this is probably the same one, yeah. Where is it? Maximum RPM 3750. So either way, let me change the let's change the wheel and see if my fortune changes. Ha 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 ha! Get that? You get that? You pick that up? God, I drew blood. That's a few people that are faint at the sight of blood. Let's put the glove. Okay, so don't want to lose those bolts. Uh-oh, what do I do with the bracket? Where'd the bracket go? Oh, there it is. I want to knock that straight, that's why. Much better. Much better. Lifting my scraps. So I got camouflage Rust-Oleum, like a brownish gray. I have camouflage, like a greenish gray. And then I have the Universal Rust-Oleum Metallic Primer Gunmetal Gray. And then I have some yellow in a quart can, but I don't think I have anything to mix it up with. The hardener is still good. Maybe I'll have to brush it then. I'm not going to bring out a sprayer just to do that. But maybe I could brush it. We'll see what happens. And then I have, what color is this? It's like a sand. It's like a sand color. It's the color of the Rattler that I have left. Maybe I'll do that. I'll camouflage. Nah, camouflage is gunmetal gray. It's no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just use what I have in a rattle can. That should be enough, I think. Then I have some 62 Cadillac engine enamel, and then what is that? That's 62 Cadillac sandalwood. I'm not going to waste that on that. Put a coat on the flag, although the flag is going to be red, but I don't have red at the moment, and I polished it up and I cleaned it, so I don't want to get any surface rust on it. So that's good enough for now. That came out pretty good. No runs, no sags, no drips. Alright, good enough for who it's for. So while that's drying, let's take a walk over to the scrounge pile and get my post. I'm thinking this is right here is plenty tall. So you can see, now this is on an angle. That puts the mailbox at an angle. I don't know if I straighten that, it still leaves the mailbox at an angle. If I put that in the dirt as an angle, then the mailbox will be flat. I don't know if will I be able to put it in the dirt and get the correct angle to make the mailbox level, which I'm sure I probably could. I'm going to try that. I'm going to see if I can leave that on an angle like that, and then just put the mailbox right on top, right? And then that'll stick out from the ground on an angle. I think I'm going to try that. Let's make some measurements here. Tape measures right here. So from there to there is 15 3/8 mailbox. The mailbox is almost 18 inches. I think that'll work out perfect. So I need to make a base that goes into the mailbox. most of the time, I know on my mailbox in the front they got wood, and then they bolted the wood to the post, and then they put the mailbox on top of it, and they screwed the mailbox to the wood. Let's see if I have a piece of wood. What's the dimension on the mailbox? Bottom of the mailbox is 6 1/4 wide. So I have a piece of scrap in the back here that's 6 1/4 wide. I do not have a piece that's 6 1/4 wide. Take a look at the scrounge pile if I have a piece of steel or U-channel that's 6 1/4 wide. Got a piece right here, and that's only 5. So we're going to be a little short if I use that. Do I have another piece somewhere in this pile? 6 1/4 wide. I do not see another piece. I have another. It's underneath that. What's that one? That was only 4. It's only 4. How wide is that? Oh, that would be the right fit. That would be the right fit, but I'd have to do some serious cutting, I think. Here, that's 3. It's 3 1/2. That'd be really heavy duty. That would be really heavy duty. This is my failed tire carrier experiment. How wide is that? That's 9. That's 9. No. Ow! What's that? That's 7. I mean, that might work. That's 7. If I cut that, I got the other one right here. If I cut that off, that's 6 1/2. I'm looking at a lot of extracurricular work, I think. Double Or let's see, I got this. Could use that as the bottom base and then rivet some angle iron to it. That might work, although that's aluminum. although that's aluminum. Alright, and I got this angle iron here. Oh, let's see. There's two pieces here. I think that'll... That might work the best. Alright, let me go put the camera down and dig around in there for the right size stuff I need. Alright, so I decided that I'm going to use this. I'll cut them to the right size, put them together like so, and then cut small sections and either weld them in the middle, or if they're long enough, bolt them. I haven't measured the dimension on what I'm gonna, well, maybe I should measure the dimension of what I'm gonna need. So I want to go 6 1/4 here. So if I go 6 1/4, so if I go 6 1/4, no, that's 5, 6, 6 1/4, and that is let's say 2 1/8. 2 1/8. The gap is only 1 1/2. So I should be able to cut those and then bolt it with ease or weld it. I haven't decided, but I need my chop saw, which is buried in there. So now I gotta disassemble the shelf here. Anyways, is what it is, ain't what it ain't. That looks spectacular. Now I just gonna run one across here, one across here, and then bolt that on. Easy peasy. Door won't open. Dumbass. Alright, I'm gonna have to grind that. I'm gonna have to grind that down now. Right. What a bonehead. Oh well. Carry on.